In this video, we're gonna talk about how to set goals, and I will share with you my goals for 2020. What is up everyone, it's David here. I know this video is a little late because most of the time people create these videos usually at the beginning of the year. Even though it is late, I still want to talk to you about setting goals, especially my own goals for 2020. One, I wanted to put my goals to the outside world, put it out in the wild and let everyone know that I'm committing to these goals. And two, you can hold me accountable if I messed up at the end of this year. Really, the video is gonna be broken into two parts. The first part is I'm gonna talk about my way of setting goals, and I'll talk about some of the do's and don'ts when it comes to setting goals, at least in my opinion. And then the second part of this video, I'm going to talk about my own goals that I want to achieve in 2020 and why it's important to me that I achieve some of these milestones. Without further ado, let's just go. In startups, I was exposed to a system called OKRs. Now, OKR stands for Objectives and Key Results. Now, OKRs is a system that's been adopted by Spotify, Google, Intel, and some of the other bigger tech companies. And I'm going to walk you through how to set OKRs. I highly recommend reading this book because there's plenty of examples of how Intel set goals, how YouTube as an organization set goals. There's some incredible stories, so highly recommend this. Now, when it comes to OKRs, objectives are essentially what you want to achieve, and key results are essentially how you're going to achieve the what. And one of the easiest examples to understand would be the OKRs for a general manager in a football club. So the objective of the general manager would be make money for owners, and the key result ultimately would be winning a Super Bowl. Another key result would be filling the home stands to 90%, because of course as the stadium gets filled up, they'll obviously win more money, and of course if they win the Super Bowl, they'll make even more money as a team. Now I have three categories of OKRs. I have an income OKR, I have a financial independence OKR, and I have a personal OKR. When it comes to an income OKR, my objective at the end of 2020 is to replace my client income with passive income. This doesn't mean that I don't want to work with clients moving forward, but the majority of my income right now does come from clients, and that's also a risk on my side as well, because what if the client suddenly decided that they no longer need me? And if I don't have any backup or different income streams to supplement that, or even more clients, then my income will be at risk. And if my income's at risk, I don't really know if I can get to my goal of financial independence by 35. So this is really important for me to tackle this at the end of this year. Now, the first key result is essentially publishing 2 videos per week on YouTube. So 2 videos a week is essentially my commitment on YouTube to 1, get better at creating video content, and 2, giving myself the opportunity to get to know you as much as I possibly can. Now, the second key result is that knowing that YouTube probably won't pay me for the next, couple months, I need a way to make the most of these videos that I'm creating because they do take a long time to produce. One of the natural ways of capitalizing on these videos is to repurpose these videos into blogs and then ultimately monetize the traffic using either AdSense or affiliate products. And that's exactly what I did. And the third KR is that it's been about 3 months since I started the YouTube channel, and it's currently sitting at about 60,000 views. And by the end of 2020, I'm really hoping that I put in enough work and my video quality has gone to a point that I can accumulate in total 600,000 views. So that's my third KR. And the fourth KR is 10,000 subscribers. Now that sounds obviously super vain because it's a vanity metric, but it's to prove to myself that as long as I can put my mind to something, I can achieve anything. And that's probably more for myself. And the fifth KR is that 20% of the passive income revenue needs to come from a product that I created. And whether that's a spreadsheet that you can track your entire portfolio or a mini course about dividend investing, whatever that is, 20% of the revenue needs to come from that. Now, the reason why I've chosen that is because it's important to diversify your income streams, even passive ones too. So that's my first set of OKR for income. Before I move on to the other OKRs, I think it's worthwhile mentioning that when it comes to the OKR system, there is actually an ongoing evaluation of your goals. At the end of it, when you look back and see how well you performed, each of the key results actually gets a ranking out of 1. If you fully achieve the key result, then that is ultimately a 1. If you only done half, that's basically a 0.5. And if you barely done anything, then that will be either 0 or 0.3. And each of those decimals actually have a color scheme to it. 0.7 to about a 1 is a green, and 0.4 to 0.6 is about a yellow, and red is 0 to 0.3. Now, the second set of OKRs is actually pretty straightforward, and that's my financial independence OKRs. And the objective here is 10% progress towards my FIRE number. Now, I need approximately $953,000 in my stock portfolio in order to be financially independent when I am 35. Now, I currently have $43,000 invested in stocks. At the end of this year, I want to make sure that I am 10% there when it comes to my FIRE number, which means that at the end of this year, I need to be at 100 grand in my stock portfolio. And there's 2 key results when it comes comes to this set of OKRs. And the first key result is continue saving 60% of my monthly paycheck. And the second key result is generate an additional $10,000 per month from online income at the end of 2020. And the third category of OKR is a personal OKR. And for me, I have set this set of OKR for pushing my personal boundaries and making sure that I can become the best version I want to be, my worthy ideal at the end of this year. And the one thing that I care a lot about this year that will also help my pursuit of passive income is engineering, specifically coding an entire website from scratch. Now, I have done that already in the New Year's holidays, but it took me a lot of time, and because I haven't touched it for a while, I probably completely forgot it. And my objective is to learn how to code a full Gatsby JS and a WordPress blog. One of the reasons why I want to learn how to code an entire thing is that, one, coding is going to become more and more important moving forward. And two, there's a natural evolution when it comes to using other people's platform to create websites. You're limited by what they allow you to do. And ultimately, at some point, you're going to hit a cap, or you're going to hit a boundary where the website is not as fast as it could be. The mobile version is not as good. Accelerated mobile pages is not available or looks like trash. It's just not very customizable. And for me personally, I see my blog, this YouTube channel, as a long-term strategy for myself. So it's important that I take really, really good care of it. And the natural next step for my blog, which currently is in Squarespace, is to move it to WordPress with a very, very fast infrastructure. That's only because Google has put a lot of emphasis on the speed of the website, especially on mobile. If you're lacking in that department, you really see some of your organic rankings for your blog just suffers just because of speed. Because ultimately, imagine a website takes 10 seconds to load on a mobile. That's just such a bad experience. Anyway, learning how to code a full Gatsby JS and a WordPress blog. And the key result is that the page speed score needs to be greater than 90%. And there's a tool that we use called GT Metrics that will essentially assess how fast your website loads. And it needs to be greater than 90%. So we'll see about that. And the second key result is this website needs to be live at the end of 2020, which means that I should probably get started learning how to code at this point. But at the end of 2020, I'm really hoping to transition all of the content in Squarespace and move it all across to WordPress and to my new website. I am incredibly hamstrung by some of the Squarespace infrastructure. There's just nothing I can do about it. Creating tables are really hard on Squarespace. And yeah, it's just really, really important that if I want to take blogging seriously, I ultimately do need to move my entire website towards more of a WordPress CMS and implementing technologies that would load significantly faster if I want to rank on Google. I will check in every couple months to update you on exactly where I'm at for each of these OKR, just so that you can come along on the journey with me. Now that I put these 3 sets of OKR into the wild, you can hold me accountable for that. And I want to commit to you that I am going to get these things done at the end of 2020. Now, one of the last thing I want to mention here is that when you're setting your OKRs, do not set goals that you know you're going to achieve at that time frame. You should always set goals where you're a little bit stretched, you don't really know, you're kind of like 75% confident that you might get there. The important thing about that is that you want to set these goals to either prompt yourself to think just a little bit differently, to push yourself a little harder in different departments so that you're growing as a professional. And also, I want to mention that this was actually part of a 2018 Graham Stephan challenge. If I post a video about this, he will subscribe to me. So let's see if he actually does that. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching this video all the way to the end and stuck with me. I'm hoping to share more and more of my life with you so that I can take you on the journey with me. Because ultimately I started this channel as a way to document my entire journey to financial independence. So I'm gonna try to incorporate you in many different dimensions in the journey as much as I possibly can. And if you enjoy this, make sure you gently destroy that like button, subscribe to my channel for more content like this, click onto the bell so that you will always be the first one to know when I release brand new videos. And until next time, I'm gonna let him say goodbye.